All right, Falcons fans, we're through the first wave of free agency. Are you happy with what we have so far, or do you want more? Let's talk about it.
Class act up in first class for the legroom. K-Ho glitch, time pass in the restroom. Take a bad bitch to a 1.5-star motel. Then I'm back to crash in my bedroom. Been broke down all inside, not a flesh wound. Talking down with you.
Who decision what to talk about it? Student decision walk without it. You swear you all about it. You think you live it, but it's like once upon a time I met the boogeyman off the booger sugar, the Cuban good as Judah. Used to be a pierce to my wrist was period. Them diamonds back when I was a no one, back when I was anonymous, brand new.
Hey, what's up, Falcon fans? So the first wave of free agency is over. What do you give the team? We've had about 8 signings, I would say, not including re-signs, not including the extensions or anything like that. As far as new players coming to the team, we have 8 signings. And me personally, I think a lot of the players look like, as far as scheme fits and stuff like that, it doesn't seem like we have a signing that pushes the envelope, though. For me, that's one thing I was looking for in the free agency, as far as to find somebody that pushed that envelope to make us like, okay, hey, our defense is going to be something next year, you know? But, you know, I'm not mad at the signings. Like I said, some are just 1-year deals, 2-year deals, and stuff like that. You know, we definitely got some promise and whatnot. We got some promising as far as players, but it looks like, for me, I think the Falcons are really keying in on grooming their own guys more than trying to trade for somebody or sign a free agent. It looks like they really believe in what they have in-house already. They just trying to groom that to be what they need it to be. That's what it seems to me. And like, as a fan, you just gotta be patient, you know, unfortunately. But I still think in the draft we gotta come with it. If we end this free agency with an uninspected draft that we didn't expect, I think it'd be a D tier free agency for the Falcons. That's not my current grade, but I think the Falcons have an opportunity still in the draft to get a B plus. If they do, it depends on what they do to get an A minus. I think at the ceiling, I think it's an A minus at a ceiling, because I really don't know what it could be to get that actual A plus. And you know, as far as, it has to be a trade. It has to be what's his name, Abdul Carter or something like that. You know what I mean? Something to get an A plus. But I think an A minus is possible. You know, like I said, they have to make some good moves in the draft. They have to, in this next wave, I think, make some also moves on defense and make some moves on offense. Get another third wide receiver, I feel, is needed. You know, we have some wide receivers that we did sign, but it was mainly special teams guys, which is cool. But I think having that other option, that having that other weapon for Michael Penix Jr. will be a huge fit. But like I said, if Kyle Pitts have the season he expects to have, then yeah, they won't need that third wide receiver option because they have Kyle Pitts there, tight end, doing it. You know what I mean? But I think personally, my grade for the Atlanta Falcons is a C right now. You know, I think it's a C with the potential of an A minus, depending on what else they do in the second wave of free agency. What other key parts on defense they can add to it would definitely help out. So I want to see that in the draft. Like I said, I'm still saying go defense, go defense. I'm leaning towards offensive players as far as wide receiver. If anything, offense, a wide receiver. Like I said, just have somebody else that can be that other option if Kyle Pitts doesn't make it as far as being the person we want him to be. You know, I definitely have hope in him. I want to see that out of him, but I don't know yet. You know, the jury's still out as far as on Kyle Pitts. But like I said, a lot of the players we have is okay parts with potential to be better situations. You know, I think, like I said, they're just good parts in a good and they can do good in a good system, it seems like. But hopefully, Trice comes back and dominates. Like I said, I have hope in him too as well. Um, Aruk, how you say it? Aruk, I may say it wrong, but hopefully he comes back and have a dominant season. It's just like when you lose like players like Grady Jarrett and then not replace them, not necessarily his position, but a talent level of his on the defensive line. We haven't replaced it with anything just yet. So it's hard for fans to, you know, sink their teeth into something. You know, fans, you know, we want more meat on the bone. We want to sink our teeth into something that's like, that's juicy. Oh man, we just signed this person right here. Oh my God. That's what we want. That's not what we always get. We know it's a business, it's a system. It has to be a scheme. We got, the draft coming up, and hopefully we can sink our teeth into more than I have hope into the Falcons. I have hope in Terry Fontenot. I have hope into Raheem Morris. Like I said, I think they want to groom their own guys. That's what it's looking like to me. But what do you think, Falcons fans? My grade officially so far is a C. I give it a C plus. Throw it a C plus, just because hey, we are keying in on defensive players. So C plus. What do you think? What is your grade for the Falcons so far this year? Is it higher than mine or is it lower? So let's talk about it.